over 30 years working at NES while you were pastoring. And I think sometimes people like see those dual roles as either or, but you were doing both of them. So as a pastor, also pastoring for 30 plus years, what would you say pastoring people taught you about leading and leadership?
What it taught me about people is that we all imperfect for one thing. None of us are perfect, and I think that's where I got that saying: the biggest room in our house, the biggest room in the world, is the room for improvement, because nobody is perfect. We always striving to be better. We always striving to do better. And so once we continue on that road that we know leads to a better place than we are more encouraged and inspired and rejuvenated to stay on the straight and the narrow path. And that's what it's all about, staying on that straight and that narrow path. And I'm a Christian from my heart. And, Jesus says, wide is the gate and broad is the way that lead to destruction. And many is on that road. Many is on it today, but few there be. And narrow is the way that leads to eternal life. And one of the things we believe as a Christian, this life is okay, but this life is not it. What if you gain the whole world and lose your soul? We just had a cousin just pass, DeWitt Johnson. He died in the church on the piano, playing for the Lord, singing in the choir. He did. And he didn't mind it at all, but it just shows the dedication of his life. He didn't steer out the path. He didn't get off and go back on, get off and go back on. He stayed because he knew God was real, and he knew that God had a better place and a better life for him that none in this world can compare. Because what if you gain this whole world and lose your soul? What shall you profit? Is there anything really to profit in this world in which we live if we don't strive for those things which we know are more valuable than anything this world has to offer?
Yeah.
So and not only that, and I think why you made it well, my sons made it well, I made it well. We believe that the word again tells us, no good thing will I withhold from you if you walk upright. He didn't, and then the Bible is just true. He didn't promise us. He didn't promise us that the road would be easy. He didn't promise us that we wouldn't fall down. And that way I look at it, every Christian has a past, but every sinner has a future. So that leaves no room for us to talk about anybody, because if you want to look at me, if I'm so elated and if I'm so diamond glossed, then look at me long enough and you'll see my fall. You see you'll see where I come from. You see where I come from. But if you're a sinner, you coming to the Lord, you gotta look at where you're going.
Yeah.